Hey there, fishing family. Your old mate is back with another forecast, and let me tell you, December 28th, 2025 is shaping up to be a cracker of a day down here in Australia. Forget about those post-Christmas blues because the fish are still in full summer swing and the conditions are looking absolutely prime for some serious action. Stick around because I'm going to reveal exactly where to cast your line, what baits to use, and why this particular day could be one for the record books. First up, let's talk about those green and gold torpedoes, the Yellowtail Kingfish. These powerful fighters absolutely thrive in the warm summer waters, and on December 28th, they'll be on the hunt. Look for them around current-swept headlands, offshore reefs, and channel markers. The comfortably warm water, averaging around 22 to 23 degrees Celsius along many coastal stretches, cranks up their metabolism, making them actively chase baitfish. For tackle, you'll want medium to heavy spinning or bait casting gear with a minimum of 20-kilogram leader. Live baits like squid, slimy mackerel, or yakkers are absolute killers. If you're a lure enthusiast like me, stick baits, poppers, and metal jigs worked with a fast, erratic retrieve will often provoke an explosive strike. Remember, they're looking for a meal, so make your presentation mimic a frantic baitfish. Early mornings and late afternoons will be your best bet, especially around tide changes. Next, let's turn our attention to the ever-reliable dusky flathead. These guys are a staple of our Australian estuaries, and summer is prime time for them to be active on the flats. You'll find them lying in ambush along sand flats adjacent to weed beds, around estuary mouths, and on the edges of channels where baitfish are abundant. The warmer water temperatures encourage them to move into shallower areas to feed. For tackle, a light to medium estuary setup with a braided line of around 6 to 10 kilograms is ideal. Soft plastics, especially those mimicking prawns or small baitfish in natural colors, are incredibly effective. Cast them out, let them sink to the bottom, and work them back with a series of short hops and pauses. Live prawns or small mullet are also deadly, fished on a running sinker rig. Concentrate your efforts on the outgoing tide as the water drains off the flats, concentrating bait and making flathead easier to target. And of course, we can't forget about our beloved bream. These intelligent fighters are a fantastic target across many Australian estuaries, and with the stable summer conditions, they'll be out and about. Look for them around structure, oyster leases, mangrove roots, rock walls, pontoons, and submerged timber. The warmer water will keep them active, but they can be a bit cautious, so stealth is key. For bait, fresh prawns, nippers, or even a small piece of mullet gut can be irresistible. Fish them on a very light running sinker rig or unweighted if possible. If you prefer lures, small crankbaits that dive to about 1 or 2 meters, or lightly weighted soft plastics around 2.5 inches, are excellent choices. Cast them tight to structure and be ready for a gentle tap that can turn into a powerful fight. Dawn and dusk are prime times, but overcast periods can extend their feeding window during the day. Now, let's get into the why behind the what. For December 28th, 2025, we're looking at a generally pleasant Australian summer day across many regions. Air temperatures will generally range from the low 20s in the morning, peaking around 26 to 29 degrees Celsius by midday before cooling slightly in the evening. We expect mostly clear skies with only a low chance of scattered light showers, particularly in some eastern coastal areas. The atmospheric pressure looks beautifully stable, which, as you know, friends, is fantastic news for consistent fish behavior. Stable pressure means fish don't have to adjust, and they'll settle into their feeding patterns. Wind will generally be light to moderate, perhaps with a pleasant afternoon sea breeze on the coast, making for comfortable fishing conditions. Just keep an eye out for any localized storm activity in the tropical north or far southeast, as those pre-storm barometric drops can trigger a brief feeding frenzy. The water temperature trends are excellent for this time of year. It's summer in Australia, and the coastal waters are beautifully warm. Around major cities like Sydney, you're looking at an average sea temperature of about 22 to 23 degrees Celsius. Further north, like on the Gold Coast, it could be even warmer, averaging 25 degrees Celsius. These elevated temperatures are a huge factor, encouraging feeding behavior and bringing those pelagic species closer to shore. Warm water increases a fish's metabolism, making them more active and more inclined to feed. For our target species today, these temperatures are well within their ideal feeding ranges. As for a bit of lunar wisdom on December 28, 2025, we will be just past the first quarter moon, moving into a waxing gibbous phase with an illumination of around 60 to 65%. The moon is 8 to 9 days old since the new moon. Many anglers believe that as the moon's illumination increases towards the full moon, fish activity can significantly pick up. The tides will be running strong around this phase, and a strong tidal flow often means more active fish, especially around tide changes which create feeding opportunities. So, while some say the moon's influence is subtle, a waxing moon like this, especially right after the first quarter, is often considered a very good time to be on the water. It's definitely a positive factor in our forecast today. Considering all these factors, the overall biological activity of fish in Australia on December 28, 2025 will be high. With summer in full swing and those wonderfully warm water temperatures, many species are actively feeding, especially our migratory pelagic fish like kingfish and estuarine species like flathead and bream. There will be an abundance of baitfish, and our target species will be taking advantage of these plentiful food sources. Some fish might even be preparing for or engaging in spawning, which often means an aggressive bite. So, my friends, my clear assessment for the 28th of December 2025 is this: the bite will be good to excellent. We're looking at generally stable atmospheric conditions, comfortable warm air temperatures, light winds, and perfectly warm ocean temperatures that will get our target species very active. This is an ideal summer fishing day with a positive moon phase influence. You can expect high activity, particularly during early mornings and late afternoons, as fish capitalize on the slightly cooler parts of the day. All right, my amazing fishing family, that's your detailed forecast for December 28th, 2025. I wish you all nothing but tight lines and screaming reels. May your drag sing and your coolers be heavy. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this forecast helpful, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another prediction from your favorite fishing expert. And tell me in the comments below, what are your go-to summer baits in Australia, and what's the biggest kingfish, flathead, or bream you've ever landed in late December? Let's get a conversation going. Tight lines, everyone!